Thank you everyone for joining the second session of the monthly Indus Procurement Special Interest Group. I think we have Priya on the call as well, right? Priya, you're there?
Hey, hi, Mukesh.
Hi, Priya.
Good afternoon.
So, just good afternoon. So, this is the monthly call where we would like to engage procurement as a topic and bring in people and experts around procurement, around SAP solutions around procurement, even customers who can share their procurement journeys and so on and so forth. So we had the first session last month, and this is the second session. Today, the request that we got was, can we cover the entire portfolio of procurement solutions that SAP has at a very, very high level, and also talk about how SAP licenses these solutions in terms of what the metrics are. We will not go into detail of the pricing because that is very specific to every organization and the volume that they buy with SAP. But we will definitely cover at a very high level the entire product portfolio that SAP has on the procurement front and also how SAP licenses this. And we will end with a quick overview on some of the procurement solutions that SAP has made available to all customers, or not even customers, to everybody, if they want to use, whether they are SAP customers or not, due to the current COVID situation as well. So that is where we will kind of end and maybe have some time for Q&A as well. So to start with, I think I'll ask Vaibhav to introduce yourself and maybe take through the Concur solution, and then we'll have Alok who will take us through the entire Ariba and Fieldglass solutions from that perspective. So before that, Vaibhav, maybe Priya, would you like to introduce yourself and say a couple of words? Priya is going to be the SIG lead from SAP side for the procurement SIG.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Myself, Priya. I'm part of SAP Ariba Solution Management team, and I belong to the Regional Innovation Group, where I also help Mukesh and others on the user groups, and also I handle the customer influence and adoption process for SAP Ariba products. Thank you so much for joining, and would like to work with you on the further sessions. Thank you, Mukesh.
Thanks, Priya. Yeah, Vaibhav, you can introduce yourself and take it off.
Thank you so much, Mukesh. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to talk to you on the SAP Concur licensing today. So I lead the sales function for North and East India for SAP Concur. What I will primarily is going to do is talk about the licensing front, but at the same time, I'm going to give you a quick snapshot of what the products are when it comes to SAP Concur. So primarily, we look. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, we can see your screen, Vaibhav. Please go on.
Okay. Great. So primarily, we focus on three solution areas: Concur Expense, Concur Travel, and Concur Invoice. So these are three core modules in the Concur portfolio. There are several add-on modules or sub-modules to each of them, and some of them are listed here that you see. Under Concur Expense, you can see Request, Drive, Budget, Expense It, which is OCR, auditing services, central reconciliation, and similarly for Concur Travel and Concur Invoice, there are a few other modules. I'm not going to go in each of them because they need a much lengthier discussion. And down below, you can see the cross-platform services. These are the additional advanced services that we have from an intelligence or reporting dashboarding perspective. We've got something on the support desk perspective or a service admin perspective. So these are the four services that you see down below. They cut across all the solution areas. That's why they're mentioned separately. So I'm not going to go into details of any of these products, but in case if you have any questions, queries, feel free to ask me now or towards the end of the session. Moving to the next one, this is a typical journey that any customer would see with Concur. Concur is not only just about automating your expense process or cell booking process, right? It is much, much beyond just automation. So it's an entire transformational project which customers take with us, and where we help them understand, where do they stand today in terms of their existing current T&E processes, whether they're doing it manually using some legacy system or some other application, and then assess and help them understand how Concur can bring value on the table using the Concur platform. Now, it's a huge platform and not a point-to-point solution which can only do just say expense or just cell booking or just invoice processing, but it does end-to-end everything for you. So it's a platform in a true sense, wherein you can do some budget checks, you can actually do a GPS-based mileage tracking. There are a lot of partners that we have in our ecosystem which integrate with Concur. So any expenses that you make on the partner network, it could be an Ola, Uber, or cars and rent from a cab service perspective, maybe a Master Visa, Amex, or an HDFC from a credit card standpoint, or a lot of hotel chains like SPG, IHG group of hotels. So many partners that we have signed up with over the years, and we've invested in these partnerships. The moment you do a transaction with any of these partner networks, the transaction automatically flows within the system. So you really do not have to write anything on your own. There is no manual intervention needed. So the vision of the company is that the expense report should actually write on its own without you really caring about writing an expense or putting an expense manually. And there could be certain expenses which are not coming from these partner network associations. These could be some expenses done at a restaurant or some other place where it's not connected to our partner network. There you can just simply click a picture using the OCR technology, which is inbuilt in the mobile app of Concur, and that transaction will automatically then flow in, and it'll create an expense line item for you, and it'll flow in within the platform and create an expense line item for you. Okay, so I'm not going into a deep dive of it, and of course reporting comes along with it. There are about 120 odd reports that we give you standard as part of the package. So you really don't have to pay anything extra to us on reporting standpoint, until unless you've got some really advanced reporting requirements. Then there are other solutions like business intelligence or consultative intelligence that we offer as a service. So going now straight to the licensing front. And before I do that, let me take a pause and ask any questions, any clarification anybody needs, because I'm covering in a very capsule manner right now here.
So one of the question was around OCR, I think, which you answered. So the question was, does Concur have an OCR to connect to what has been entered by the employee from the supporting documents?
Great. So maybe I'll go one step further on OCR since there was a question. Our OCR is backed by the AI and ML engines too. So let me give an example. For example, if I go to a restaurant and eat out at a restaurant and go for lunch with one of my customers, and I sent a calendar as well to the customer for a lunch meeting. Now, there are two aspects to it. One is the OCR. What really happens is the moment I'm done with the lunch meeting and I get a bill from the restaurant, I pay it by my corporate card. Second, the moment I get a bill, I take a picture using the OCR from a mobile app. When I take a picture, it automatically uploads the picture on the cloud on Concur. It also analyzes the receipt automatically. Now, Concur understands, because it's backed by AI and ML, that it's a lunchtime. Say it's a 1 o'clock bill or a 2 o'clock bill or a 3 o'clock bill. It understands this is lunchtime and it's a food bill. So it'll automatically pick up a GL code, which is mapped to your ERP, which is corresponding to a lunch meeting. It'll pick up lunch. Okay, so you don't have to really manually do a selection of a GL code. Though if you feel otherwise, you can manually change it, the GL code on your own through the mobile app, but the system will do it. So, pick up the GL code on its own and select it. It'll read all the contents like whichever are required, like a date, the amount, the supplier, the location, and like I said, GL code and the amount. These 6 items will be automatically picked up through the mobile app. In case you want to put some comments, you can do that. What it also does really nicely is, from an integration standpoint, it is integrated with Outlook. Now, Concur will understand that you are busy with a lunch meeting with the client during this time. So it will automatically pick up the credentials of the client as well and add that client as an attendee to your expense line item. So that part is also taken care of, that you manually do not have to really type in the client's name. So that comes automatically from our integration with Outlook. Again, since I paid the bill with a credit card, the corporate card, the transaction automatically flows in within Concur. So it will automatically integrate all the transactions, one coming from the OCR, second coming from the credit card company. So it integrates both of them and creates an expense line item for you. I hope that clarifies. Any other question, Mukesh, that we have from the audience? Okay, so I'll move to the licensing bit then. This is how we are licensed. So there are various ways that you can buy Concur modules.
So,
like I said, we have mainly 3 modules.
Weber.
Yeah,
Weber, just so the question around OCR was to understand how you manage the OCR efficiency, as it is a direct connect to shared service costs. So, Anindya, would you want to maybe slightly expand on that? Unmute yourself.
Yeah, sure. See, basically what happens is, your OCR efficiency basically leads, or your OCR inefficiency, whatever way you want to say it, basically, has a direct impact on the invoice response time, or the invoice processing time that you have, right? And that is a big cost on today's date. I mean, like you have companies who have regular TATs which are built around the invoice processing time, right? Basically, from the time an invoice basically comes into the system, either using a Concur or any other tool, and from the time actually the payment that is getting released. So the question is, when we speak of OCR efficiency, typically what happens is OCR uses a number of technologies, right, depending upon the kind of supplier or platform you have. And for example, an efficiency could be in terms of how many PO numbers were you able to recognize, or how many vendor names or texts you were able to recognize. Right, because it depends upon upon the quality of scan that has happened,
right,
as well as on the other qualitative factors that basically impact a scan. So the question is that there has to be a metric, or there has to be a way you measure the baseline efficiencies, and based on that you have your ML or AI based interventions, as well as your interventions that your team has with your external partners from whom you get such bills and stuff like that to basically improve on their processes.
right.
So we need to understand, how is that basically managed within the solution.
Sure, I'll try and address that. And Aarti is also on the call, who's a technical consultant. Aarti, pitch in if you need. So essentially, what you're talking about, and that's what I've understood, is about the vendor invoice processing. When you're talking about the invoicing and shared services centers. So the OCR accuracy is roughly in the range of maybe 60 to 65%.
Yes. Yes.
That's the accuracy levels that we look at, and we all understand OCRs can never be 100% accurate, or say 90, 95%.
Even 60 to 65 is ideal.
Yeah. So around that is what we look at from an accuracy standpoint, just like any other OCR would function. Apart from the OCR scanning, what you can also do is your vendors can maybe send an email and attach the invoice on an email and send it to you. So we can give you an email address which is mapped to your tenant, which will be at maybe our receipts at concur.com, and that your vendor can send those invoices to that particular email address, and then the system will help you decode that and put it in a digital format and submit in the workflow of the first line of approver, whoever is there, and that person actually has to manually recheck if all the data has been captured correctly from the invoice or not. Now, whether it's a hard copy of the invoice or a soft copy of the invoice that you've got through an email, but it's extremely important that you manually check the accuracy levels if everything is in place or not.
Sure, Vaibhav. Thanks.
Yeah. Aarti, you want to add something, or are we good?
We good, Vaibhav. I think you covered it. What I've also done is I've just attached a document on this chat for Anindya to download, and we can talk about it offline if required.
Sure. And then in case you have more doubts, we can circle back after the session today, tomorrow, anytime that's convenient to you.
Yeah, sure. I just do not know from where to download what you have attached, but anyway, we can look into that. Yeah.
It's still attaching.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So let me, any more questions before I move to the licensing bit? I think Mukesh, you're talking, you're on mute.
No, I said, Aarti, you can put it on the chat using the attach file function. And Anindya, you can download it from the chat as well once the file is attached. Go on, Vaibhav.
Okay, great. Thanks. So let me jump into the licensing bit. So like I said, there are 3 core modules and there are sub-modules to them. The first line that you see here is expense plus. That essentially means the core module of expense. And then you can add additional modules that you see in the previous slide. There are 2 modes where how you can buy it. One is the direct mode, and second channel is the indirect channel. Direct is where you directly sign a contract with us. Second is through channel, through VAR, which is a value-added reseller. There are a few authorized resellers through whom you can procure the Concur software. Now, expense could be done through directly as well as through a VAR channel. You want to procure expense plus travel, both modules, you can again do it the same way, direct as well as VAR. If any customer wants to only buy travel, which is self-booking. Now, when I'm saying travel, it means self-booking, where you can go ahead and self-book your hotels or your flights. Then we cannot sell it directly. It can only be sourced through a TMC, which is a travel management company. Now, we work with some 7 or 8 travel management companies in India, and there's a list of that partnership as well. We can help you with that in case the need arises. So you can source it directly from them. If you only want to buy invoice, we can do it directly. And if it is invoice plus expense, we can do it directly as well as through a VAR. Okay. From a licensing standpoint, the right-hand side of the column that you see, all our products are licensed basis the number of transactions. In case we're talking about expense and travel, the transactions essentially means the number of expense reports. In case of invoice, it means number of invoices that you process on an annual basis. Now, what is an expense report for us? Expense report can be a sum of, say, any number of expense line items. Say in a month, I have food bills, hotel bills, flight bills, train bills, cab bills, any small expenditure I would have done, say on a marketing thing, any kind of expense that you have done on behalf of the company, you can club all of them at one go and submit them in one expense report. Sometimes people call it as an expense sheet as well. So that's one expense report. There is no limit to the number of expense line items that you can have in one expense report. There could be 1, there could be 100. It's up to you. So there is no limit to that at all. So that's one expense report. So essentially for the number of expense reports that you file is what we charge you on. Now it's truly a consumption-based or a cloud-based model where you are licensed for a number of expense reports that you process. Of course, there's a hard commitment that you have to give at the start of the contract term, and you'll have to maintain those minimum limits with us for the tenure of a year that you've signed up for, or 3 years, whatever the contract term is. So any questions on that?
There is a question. Yeah, Vaibhav. The question was, size of the block of transactions. So minimum and subsequent.
Okay. So there is no block as such. I know this question might be coming from, I think SuccessFactors has a block. Concur does not have any block. Suppose you tell us we have a requirement of about, say, 10,000 transactions in a year. We license you for it. If you say I need it for 20,400, we license it for those number of transactions. So there is no block per se. Of course, the pricing gets better with the number of volumes that we have with us, but there is no block per se.
And whatever they block, whatever they commit to is what you charge, right? So if they don't use up the entire block, it's still charged. There's no refund on that.
Yes. So there's a minimum commitment that every customer has to make. For example, a customer makes a commitment of 10,000 in a year. They have to consume that within a year. There is no carry forward to the second year. What we do is there are 2 billing options available as well. One is a quarterly billing. Second is a yearly or an annual billing. If you're on an annual billing, then within 12 months, you have to exhaust those number of transactions, say 10,000 in this example. In case you're on a quarterly billing and your quarterly commitment is 2,500 to us, then you have to exhaust those 2,500 transactions in that quarter, and there is no carry forward. But if it's an annual billing, you get 12 months to consume those transactions that you have signed up for.
And is there a way for them to figure out how much transactions should they actually commit to minimum? Is there something that we can do which can help customers?
So there are absolutely great question, Mukesh. There are 2 ways that any customer can, come to a number. One is they look at their existing transactions. How many transactions are they processing today in the as a scenario? Typically, when we have seen with Concur, there is an optimization of about 20 to 25%, or in some cases even 30%, and the numbers go down. So whatever number you are processing today, you can maybe downsize it by 20% or 25%, and then give us a number and we license it, that for you. Another way of looking at is that you look at the people who frequently take reimbursements from the organization. Now, typically these people will be salespeople, the field services people, senior management, or senior execs, right? You take account of those number of people and say they will file 1 or 2 expense reports in a month. There could be a certain section of people, say HR function or finance function, they might file in, say, 1 expense report a quarter or 1 expense report in 6 months. Accordingly, you can arrive at a figure basis this analysis, and this is something that you need to do, so we can help you with that assumption. And what you can also do is, if, say, 6 months down the line or 8 months down the line of the contract, you feel, this number is not appropriate for us, we might overshoot our minimum commitment. You can always sign up an addendum with us and we will increase your number of transactions.
Okay, thanks. Go on.
Another good part, and I think that a lot of customers who use SAP ERP have a concern around 2 things. One is the connector, and second is the digital access fee. The good news is that you really don't have to pay anything for the connector. SAP has developed a native connector called ICS, which comes free of charge as part of the order form when you buy Concur, which can be deployed. Of course, there'll be a deployment effort that needs to be taken care by the customer, but there's no license fee attached to it, one. On the digital access fee, there is no digital access fee that you need to pay to SAP on account of integrating SAP Concur to SAP ECC or SAP S/4HANA. There is no digital access fee, or even if you have to integrate with SuccessFactors from an HR standpoint, or maybe with Business by Design, anybody using a cloud ERP from SAP, you really don't have to give a digital access fee to us. Any more questions around this?
No, not right now. Go on, please.
Okay, let me go to the next one then. In a technology like Concur, mobile becomes an extremely critical part for the platform to be successful in any organization. So there is, of course, no charge if you use Concur Mobile. A mobile app is complimentary. Even if you look at the ratings, you go to the Android store, or these are slightly older, outdated ratings and the review counts. It could be many more now by now. But even if you go live now and check your Apple store or Android store, the ratings are very, very high. It's one of the highest rated business apps in this domain. One thing from Concur, the main app, there is something called TripIt Pro that you see down below. In case you're a frequent traveler, you definitely must download this app. There is a freeware available and there is a paid version which is called TripIt Pro. Again, a very highly recommended app on both app stores. This is actually a blessing for all the travelers who are traveling by flights across the globe. I know it's not best of the times to talk about travel, given the current COVID-19 situation. But going forward, you must look at this app. It helps you understand what's your gate number, if your flight is delayed or not, what's the way to the, say, lounge. It helps you keep track of your miles. In case you want a particular seat which is not available right now, you can tell the app and it will look for it. The moment that seat is available for web check-in, it will tell you. So a lot of things that the TripIt app can do. And given the current COVID situation, SAP has also gone ahead and give us 6 months free usage of the TripIt Pro, which is a paid version. I know that in India, till 3rd May now, the airports are locked. But when they open up, you might want to use this app. This is actually a blessing for all travelers. Going to the other aspect of a technology like Concur is the partner network. Now, this is not a partner network when I'm talking about, I'm not talking about the integration or an implementation partners. I'm talking about the tie-ups that we have done over the last several years to make your life easy. We've tied up with various FSI, the financial institutions. We've tied up with a lot of tax management companies, industry solutions, a lot of ERPs, applications that you would need on your travel, something like an Ola, Uber, or talk about Grab in Southeast Asia, or Lyft in US, and various other ground transportation apps in respective countries. Talk about the chain of hotels like SPG, IHG, Marriott, or car rental companies like Avis, Hertz. So a lot of tie-ups that we have done over the past so many years. Airlines is United, Singapore, there's so many other airlines that you've tied up with. So whenever you transact with any of these guys, the transaction will automatically flow within the Concur platform. So you do not have to really manually type in, the expense line item for yourself. the transaction will flow in and will create an expense line item for yourself. Let me also tell you one thing. Recently, we tied up with HDFC and we have come up with a joint card with HDFC Bank. So we've come up with a corporate card, which is powered by MasterCard, HDFC Bank, and Concur Solutions. So that's we launched it this year in February. So that's another aspect you might want to look at in case you work with HDFC. It's a phenomenal card which comes up with a lot of advantages, with a lot of point benefits that you get as an employee, lounge accesses and whatnot. It's an amazing card from a corporate card standpoint. And of course, coming on the ERP, I'm assuming everybody uses SAP. So we've got a native integration. Even if your core ERP is not SAP and there are other ERP systems, we can still integrate with them. Though will not be a native integration, but yes, we can still integrate. Any questions on this partner network?
No, go on.
Okay, and we do not charge anything on any of these partner networks. These are API integrations. It's available on the App Center of SAP Concur. Now, from an SAP standpoint, since most of you would be using SAP ERP, I thought it's important to cover the integration bit. Whether you're using S/4HANA Cloud or on-prem, you're on ECC6, SuccessFactors, Business by Design, or B1, it can integrate with SAP Concur Expense and SAP Concur Invoice, both solutions. And like I said, there's a native connector available for SAP ERP integration. So that's there. Apart from that, any other questions before I conclude the session?
No questions as of now. So if anyone has a question, you can unmute yourself and ask Vaibhav. Otherwise, we can move to the next product portfolio in terms of Ariba and Fieldglass. So just to summarize, Vaibhav, I think if you can just go back to the first slide that you shared. So I think not this one. Just go back. Yeah, this one.
Just a sec. There's a lag. Is this the one?
Yeah, that's the one. So I think one is self-booking of hotels and airlines and all of that, which is travel. Then there is expense management, which is after booking, after spending the money, how do you reimburse? So that's the expense. And then there is this entire invoice piece, which is vendor management piece, right? So those are the three pieces that form the Concur portfolio. So and you saw how they are licensed in terms of in the number of reports that you file. So maybe if you want to conclude your session, and then we can probably head over to Alok and Venkat.
Sure. Thank you so much, Mukesh, and thanks everyone again for the opportunity given. In case you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. These are my coordinates. I'll just publish them. These are the coordinates. You can reach out to me, write to me, and me and my team will be more than happy to address any of the queries. There are also a series of webinars that we're doing now. Maybe Mukesh, if you think it's feasible, I can share the links of webinars. We're doing one on 16th.
Put it in the chat, Vaibhav.
Invoice, and the 22nd, we're doing it for travel and expense.
So Vaibhav, put it in the chat so that people, if they want, they can access it.
Sure, I'll put in the links in the chat. So feel free to attend these
please.
webinars and reach out to me if you have any queries.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks everyone. Thanks for
Vaibhav.
your time. Thanks Aarti for being on a standby.
So thanks, Alok. Vaibhav, can you just stop sharing so that Alok can start sharing as well? Yeah, Alok, I think you're on mute. Just share your slides, make a quick introduction, and then take it away, please.
Yeah, hi. Sure. Just give me a minute.
Yeah, we can see your
Mukesh?
screen.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So hi everyone, and thanks a lot for attending. This is a session we will cover, on procurement, and I would request we make this as interactive as possible. So while I am speaking, please feel free to stop anywhere you want, and we can actually answer that. I have my colleague Venkat, who can actually answer your chat questions. But we, as I said, the idea is to make it as interactive as possible, given the time limit we have. So so what we would like to cover is the portfolio of SAP Ariba and Fieldglass. So Fieldglass as a solution got merged, within Ariba. So we are now a single LOB. Till last year, Fieldglass used to be a separate LOB within SAP, but this year, looking at the overall theme of intelligent spend management, both these solutions have come together. So with that perspective, it is now known as SAP Ariba and Fieldglass. So before I jump into the session, is there any expectation from the audience, any specific thing that is required to be covered? If people can speak out, I can then guide my flow accordingly.
Licensing and roadmap, that's it.
Okay.
So just a high level overview on what each one of these solutions does, and
Correct,
of course the licensing.
Yeah.
And another question is anything related to inventory management, integration with B2B exchanges. So if you can cover these, that will be good as well.
Surely. So there is another on inventory management and B2B integration. We'll cover both of these in the session today, right? So without further ado, let me get on to the presentation. So this is one thing that we are listening, hearing, and kind of witnessing in our daily lives for the past many days. So the entire world has come to a grinding halt because of the COVID crisis. And while we are worried for our own, well-being, we are also concerned with the health of our businesses. So I think it's kind of a dilemma for all of us, in whichever company we are working, how to get over this and still continue to add some productivity in whatever form we can. So I will try to cover how SAP can help in the current situation, and without looking at revenue as the sole objective, there are kind of assistances that SAP is offering to almost all our customers. So I think, given the situation that we are into, I would request for people to really call for areas where we can help. So that's where we are. And obviously working from home or work from home is something which we have been doing, but this time the kind of situation that we are into, the entire offices of ours actually have moved into our home area. So we'll cover what is a possibility in the current situation. So quickly looking at the Ariba portfolio, we are, as I said, a spend management solution, and we have solutions both in the area of upstream and downstream, and that's how the portfolio currently looks at. Starting from spend analysis right up to the payment is what we cover, and ideally it's the entire P2P cycle, which is very effectively covered. So what we say internally and also to our customers is that we have the depth and the breadth in the solutions that we offer for spend management as well as your basic procurement needs. So I will cover this, and I will also highlight how these are metricized based on the license availability. So as I said, we are both in the upstream and downstream space. So whatever you see in the green color, I hope the green color is also reflecting on your screens. If not, you can let me know, and I'll read out the modules. So whatever is reflecting in the green color is license based on spend. So spend is the metric, and that's how these modules are licensed. And outside that, whatever you are seeing in the light color, the light yellow color, they are licensed based on the license metric of user. So user is the license metric for solutions that are outside the green area. And then, we have a module which is SAP Digital, Signature Management. So this is where you actually assign credence to your internal and external facing documents by digitally signing them. And the license metrics for this is transaction. So transaction would be, one contract. So one contract is treated as a transaction, and multiple signatures can actually happen in that transaction. So the license measure is one contract, and in one contract you can have multiple digital signatures. So that's how these are licensed. Now, if I have to quickly go through these modules as an overview, so spend analysis is where you evaluate your categories, look at the historical spend, and then plan your strategy how I can actually look at some savings in some sourcing savings in these categories over a period of time. So you draw that plan, go into sourcing, start your auctioning and bidding processes with existing suppliers, or you can actually also explore multiple other suppliers. We have close to 4 million, more than 4 million plus suppliers existing on Ariba network, and we have a Google type search which I'll show you in the subsequent screens, how you can actually locate a alternative user or alternative supplier or a new user if your existing supply chain is getting disrupted because of the current COVID situation. So this tool, which is known as Ariba Discovery, has been unlocked by SAP, and it is getting offered free of cost for a limited period. So I would highly recommend, and you will get to see the view of it in the following slides. But I would highly recommend that for your material and services sourcing, you should actually try this Ariba Discovery tool and look at the alternative sources from where you can procure your material and services. So that is one. Then obviously we have contract. Given the current situation, I'll jump the gun a bit. On 20th, we are having a very exhaustive webinar covering the contract and digital signature, part where you will get to see the solution in more detail. But contracts is when you are running your sourcing and you have multiple bidders, participating. The contract is tightly integrated with the MS Office, Word tool, and your contract is also parallelly automatically getting created using the business rules that you would have in place. And by the time your sourcing event gets over, you can have a contract almost ready, which can be reviewed and finalized and shared with the selected bidder. So that is one area, and these are all templates, so you don't have to run the template time and again. It will be a template which will be used for a particular buying category. So let me see the couple of chats happening.
We are taking care of it, Alok. You can continue, I think.
Okay, digital signature is also for suppliers. Yes, it is also for suppliers. Light yellow component. Kindly repeat the license part. Okay, so the light yellow components are licensed based on users, and the one that you see in green is based on annual spend, and the one which is under the bracket of SAP Digital Signature Management is based on number of transaction. A transaction means one
Nice.
contract, and under that transaction you can have multiple digital signatures assigned from wherever you are. Let's say your home office, you can assign that, so not an issue. You can review it over your mobile phone, and you can add credence to that particular internal or external document by assigning this digital signature. So what SAP has done, I don't want to be 100% sure on that. If you digitally sign the order form, SAP order form, or a purchase order that you might have to issue from your organization, we don't actually need a hard copy after that, because the authentication is validated through the digital signature you have applied. We have tried to evaluate in past. The limitation is on cloud and not on-prem. Customization not possible. High license cost for each module. Okay, so Samir, we can look into this, one-on-one in greater detail. But I can assure you that the concerns that you are raising are addressable, and the whole objective of SAP going cloud is to achieve a cost or a cost impact which would be highly appealing to you. So we can look into this separately. Yeah, hope that's okay.
Yeah, look, there was one other question around the supplier risk piece of it. Is the price inclusive of integration with third parties like NASDAQ, etc.?
NASDAQ, I'm not very sure, but we have close to 600,000 sources from where you can actually seek the risk alert or a risk intimation for a particular supplier, and you can use that. And on the NASDAQ integration, I think I'll have to double check.
Look, I'm sorry, I just unmuted myself. The question is that NASDAQ is just an example. The idea is basically is that, if you have a third-party integration, is that a part of the standard offer, or is that something which needs to be paid for as an extra?
Okay, good. So Anindya, it is part of the subscription. You don't have to, let's say for Dun & Bradstreet, you don't have to get into a separate subscription with them. Or for that reason, there are close to 600,000 sources from where you are getting this risk alerts. So you don't have to get into individual arrangement with them. The SAP risk tool will supply you with the relevant data.
Yeah, thanks, Alok.
And out of this, 27,000 of such sources are existing from within India. So let's say we are integrated with SEBI, with the registrar of company, and like that, there is a complete list. Yeah. And it's a very effective tool given the situation that we are into, where you don't have time to validate the supplier and their credential. You can heavily rely on the SAP risk module to give you some background of the supplier, and you can use it before getting into a contractual arrangement with them.
Agreed, Alok. Agreed.
Yeah. So I think I've covered this in terms of how we are we are licensed. I will cover a bit of functionality because otherwise our part doesn't seem to be done from that way. So whatever information you had about SAP SRM, and that is one thing we were vehemently pushing in the market about 5-6 years back. That actually has got kind of replaced with what we call as the guided buying. So guided buying is Ariba buying standalone or Ariba buying and invoicing standalone. So Ariba buying doesn't have the invoicing piece, and Ariba buying and invoicing includes the end-to-end invoicing piece, which you can consider, and you can have your catalog-based buying initiated using this tool. Very effective. SAP as a company has more than 88,000 employees, and all of us are using this guided buying, which is a huge change and a breather from the way we were using SRM. So I can tell you from my personal experience, this is one tool you should definitely look at in the current situation, because it not only eases out the PR to PO process cycle time, it fastens the your procurement cycle based on whatever internal delegation of authority you would have, and also on the buying policies that the individual company would have put in place. So definitely you should look at this, and we'll be more than happy to arrange a private one-on-one session or a webinar on this tool. Highly recommended. I can tell you that for sure. So, the other module is supplier collaboration and e-invoice automation. So in e-invoicing, we have one option through the Ariba buying and invoicing. If you only choose Ariba buying for your cataloging needs and other SRM type, SUS and MDM kind of replacement, then you can look at the supplier collaboration part, where we have touchless, frictionless invoicing getting generated, which will be 3-way, 4-way match based on the business rules that have been set up. And you can have something which then gets created over the network, sits in the eDoc monitor within SAP, and you have a OK to pay invoice which you can process further. It also gives you an option where the Myra invoice and the supplier invoice is in perfect match, and if you have to carry that forward for your input tax credit refund through ASP, GSP, and GST and network, you have you have the invoice document which is fully reconciled before it goes into the input tax credit processing. Any questions on this? Okay.
Hello, just a small question. Basically, about Fieldglass and Ariba, how are they right now related to, transactional adherence to local statutory requirements? Like, for example, in India, GST is evolving. For Brazil, you have NFE, which also has its own evolution, right? So
correct.
For Europe, you have PayPal, right? So we need to understand, how it is basically working for you.
Okay. So just give me a minute. Let me see. So these are the questions in the chat also, I believe.
Yes,
yeah, I think so.
Okay, great, thank you. So the contingent labor and services procurement part is covered through the SAP Fieldglass solution. It is GST compliant. It is also compliant with many local statutory requirement. Let's say the Provident Fund rule. So how the Provident Fund is paid by the contract labor to the contract employee is tracked, and the regular challans from the contractor of having paid PF diligently is also maintained, and GST obviously is there. So these two, are well covered, and also as per our labor laws, the tool is well suited for that as well. So I'll give you example of UK. In the UK, they actually wanted to have the IR35, labor law, the IR35 IR35 compliance. So IR35 compliance, mandated that the contingent labor, should also pay for, required taxes and insurance, cover, which was not applicable, which is actually still not applicable because the entire IR35 regulation because of COVID has shifted to, year 2021. But it was supposed to go live on 1st of April. And which is going to get covered next year. So we are actually ready with our framework for meeting individual requirements. For Brazil, similarly, for work council related requirements in Germany, we are compliant, and in France, you can have a contingent labor only up to 2 years. Beyond that, the contingent labor has to be converted into a full-time employee. So we are compliant for that country also. For Australia, where there are stringent labor regulations, the SAP Field Glass solution is fully compliant, and similarly for the US. So we have a complete list which we can share. But from your question, yeah, Venkat, do you want to
Yeah,
add?
I want to just add. So, Anindya, to your question, there are two halves, right? As I understand, because I saw the example e-invoicing which you mentioned there. As Alok was mentioning, the statutory government requirements are something we have taken care from a field glass solution on the services procurement mainly, especially on contingent labor where there's a lot of rules by country that comes in. In addition to that, to the example around Brazil or Mexico kind of areas, or including India, where e-invoicing has its own local twist to it, our network has the capability to take care of it, and there are organizations globally as well as locally in these countries which are using our network to have the invoice collected as well as matched.
Yeah, Venkat, the reason why I was asking this question is because at least in case of India, now the requirements are becoming a bit more convoluted, right? With things like IRN number, and you are having the QR code. So the challenges are basically in terms of because if a submission happens from a tool through Ariba, then it is one, and then basically is basically a verification of the IRN number, or for example the QR code. So those kind of stuff, I mean, like if that is something that is taken care by the application itself, then that is a big boost for all of us.
Right. So this particular piece, we have been, as an organization at SAP level, we have been working with the government very closely to the IRN number as well as the generation part of it, how it works, and from buyer angle as well as supplier angle, we have had some discussions, and there are some internal engineering things also that are going on right now. So it's not like immediately today we have.
I know, because that is what has been informed to us by OpenText also, that that those discussions are still on, right? So yeah,
right.
We have got something is work in progress. So as these moves on, and we have also put from our side, there was a window open for some of advisories like us on questions saying when India is going to implement this, what may be the challenges, etc. So we have given our view as well, what may be those some questions to government back. So all those are going on the back end. So so it will come on. Yeah.
So Venkat, having spent close to 16 years in SAP, I can tell one thing for sure, that any such regulatory requirement is actually met by SAP. If not immediately, but it will be as part of the roadmap, and we do confer to such requirements. It can't be ignored. Might not be immediate, but definitely, if it is a country requirement, it has to be done.
Right. I guess there is Samir.
Yeah, Alok.
Who wanted to ask a question? Yeah, Samir.
Yeah, good afternoon, Alok and Venkat.
Yeah, Samir.
Basically, we also had evaluated. I am from the SAP team, and then I represent basically area. We tried to evaluate, and I had mentioned that we found that there are a lot of limitations if we go for that, because we have a lot of customization. So that is the one part we need to relook at that again. Maybe
Okay.
a couple of years back we had evaluated.
Okay.
We may have to relook
Okay.
at it. Now, as you
Surely.
said that it can be
So which year was that, Sumir?
just 1.5, maybe to somewhere in the 1.5 year back we had evaluated.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
we are part of L&T. So I think.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
one thing I just wanted to check that since you said that now I understand because it will be definitely because of COVID, lot of disruption which will happen in the entire supply chain that is going to happen,
Correct.
and probably all imports and everything also will go to the toss. If you are saying that you are helping with the finding the sources or something, can
Yeah.
we arrange some session and then can we ask our teams to look at that so that if we are able to really pursue on this, if they are able to also get some help of through Ariba for discovery
Surely.
of supplier or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah. More than
some
happy.
initiations can happen. So what is the
Yeah.
process?
Yeah.
How do we go ahead and ask them to go through this and then try to evaluate? Because I am sure that lot of disruption will happen in entire supply chain. So in case
Correct. Correct.
somebody
Correct.
wanted to search for the local supplier or particular category, maybe foreign, maybe imports. So how do we pursue and start this engagement with the buyer that they
Yeah.
can start?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You
So
can just
SAP.
guide.
Yeah. So SAP, Samir, SAP has removed all tabs, all bureaucratic process in letting our customers explore the SAP solutions that have been unlocked and made free for a limited period. So I would request you to go onto the Google search bar and type Ariba Discovery. As simple as that.
I've
Ariba
already,
Discovery.
so I've, Alok, I've already put the link to Ariba Discovery on the chat.
Good, good, good. So I'm just even fastening the process compared to clicking on the link and all. You have shared the link. It's good. So Samir, if you go to Ariba Discovery, it is a very intuitive, accessible tool, intuitive and accessible tool. You just have to type in the category that you're looking at, let's say medical supplies or MRO items or any other category, which you feel is relevant, then enter your location. You will immediately be given a further refinement screen where you can refine your search. And because this search is actually accessing more than 4 million suppliers which are existing on the Ariba network. So, you can actually put them a query or look at their details and then, start, interacting with them. So,
Alok,
this is
if I
one.
may,
Yeah.
Alok,
Yeah.
if I may just say that I think there are multiple sessions planned, Samir, on using how do you set
Correct,
it up
correct.
and all of that.
Just
I
add
think,
very
yeah, I think
So,
there is one on 16th. He will
16.
share. I think subsequent slides have
Yeah.
details
I
of
will
that,
share that.
and I
I
will
will
also.
share that.
Yeah.
I will share that. But again, just to fasten up, I was trying to give this input. So you can do that. There are, one particular slide which will show you how you can do that, in this presentation only. So
Okay.
we can cover that. So 16th of this month is the webinar, which is covering the Ariba discovery part. I would request you to please attend and others also because
Yeah,
it's
sure,
a
sure. If
free,
I can
it's a
get the details, I will definitely ask
surely,
Prakash to
surely.
join. So that,
Yeah, yeah, you can do that. So, last thing on this screen is the Ariba network part, which is a tool where, let's say all your post-PO collaborations can happen. So I'm on the extreme right side of it, where there is buy, sell, and manage cash. This is part of the Ariba network. If you haven't explored this before, I would highly recommend that you take time out and allow us to do a session. So all your post-PO collaboration, the end-to-end part of it, where you issue a purchase order, it automatically flows into the to the supplier. Supplier views it, or does the order acknowledgement or rejects it or partially accept it. then he's ready to, give you the intimation on advanced ship notification. The ASN gets generated from the Ariba network and creates an inbound delivery document within SAP. You can you have all these details. If you accept the ASN, you can flip the ASN and create a GRN, and the GRN automatically flows back into to the supplier. Supplier can look at that GRN. Either he can create an invoice from the GRN, or he can flip the purchase order that you had shared, for creating an invoice. Invoice will then capture all the bill to ship to, details, as well as the HSC number, the HSN number, as well as SSC numbers, so that there is no mismatch. And this then flows through a business rule. Let's say if you have asked for quantity as 100, and the supplier tries to enter 110, the system will block it then and there. So such kind of business rules are built in, so that the invoice which is getting generated is in complete conformance to your business rules, and then it goes and gets 3-way, 4-way matched, and then gets into the e-docs monitor within SAP, and you can then see it as a okay to pay file for further processing. This in the current situation will heavily reduce the load on your accounts payable team, so that they can get into other higher function areas of cash flow management, hedge management, and all that. So very effectively used by many companies in India, pretty referenceable, and time permitting, or subsequently we can look at into some of the case studies there. So any questions on this?
Look, just a question here. When we are talking about the invoice to pay portion, there are two parts that I am interested in. One is basically, do you offer basically archiving of supplier invoices basically on the cloud? And the second part is, does SAP have an in-house solution related to OCR, similar to what SAP vendor invoice management is providing on today's date?
So Ananya, we do have that, as a backend service known as the ICS, processing of the invoice. But my take on this is, it will A, add extra to your cost, B, delay the invoice processing part. So ideally, if you can actually try to have a digital processing of the invoice, or digital generation of the invoice, it is only going to help you as a
Agreed, Alok. It basically depends upon see, I mean, like, invoicing is something which is basically governed by the legal landscape, that is there.
Landscape.
Correct, so that is why because on today's date, invoice submissions are either through an EDI or an eFlip kind of a thing, or in some cases you take PDF invoices via email to basically upload. So basically where PDF invoices come in, right? Or where people and unfortunately where you still need a paper invoice which has to be scanned. So in those cases we need the OCR technology to work.
So PDF invoices is fully supported. So any PDF invoice will be OCR, converted into a digital invoice in the Ariba network. But as such, we do not have OCR the way you might expect it, which is more of a whim kind of a scenario, or maybe for that reason, Concur has a very good invoice processing capability with the OCR they have. So, but within the SAP area, OCR on the Ariba network, or the flow, which I tried explaining on your post-PO collaboration part, is not there, because our philosophy is to create a digital invoice, and this is based on
Agreed.
multiple large size organizations which have done that. So let me give you an example of Dulux Paints. They don't even issue a purchase order. And the EDI connection that you had indicated for B2B, what is called as the integrated supplier. So your purchase order, goes and sits into the supplier ERP system as a SO, and their AR gets received as a AP in your system, which with a complete digital flow happening with all the matchings and other things taken care of. So it's like that. So we have Chevron in the US, or Shell Oil in in Netherlands. They have 100% digital invoice capabilities. They have purposely done that.
Absolutely.
But I agree with your point. I agree with your point that within India, we would still need a hard copy of the invoice. But my request is that hard copy invoice you can keep as a backup, but definitely you would need to scan that before making it a record. You may need to scan that and match it within the system. But currently that capability is not there, Ananya.
One more question. Since you come from an SRM background, the question was related to B2B integrations. Question is, see, you will have many cases, where I have, a request for an item, but I do not know a supplier. Right. So in those cases, correct. So in those kind of scenarios, it makes sense that, we integrate, with existing, e-markets, right? For example, it could be an Alibaba, or it could be an Amazon, or it could be something similar, right? So the question is, does Ariba provide for such kind of a native integration, or is it something, that has to be built separately, or you advise that, it is not to be built at all?
Yeah. So, Venkat, you may like to clarify this?
Are you able to hear me? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, Venkat.
Yeah. So what I was saying was, so basically there are two things, right? So often people speak about e-marketplace, but not sure even in developed countries why in certain categories they want to open it up fully as well, right? So the way we have seen the maturity growing is on the punch out side, right? When we say on the catalogs, right? So there are a lot of suppliers like, say, on the IT side, Dell, HPs of the world, or on the MRO, Grangers of the world, or so many of them who there, who have got their own catalogs of products that they sell. Okay, so instead of you hosting supplier catalogs on your system, you can do a methodology called punch out. I'm not sure if
exactly
right. So from a punch out perspective, there are more than, I guess, 50 suppliers who are in different areas where there are some standard implementations that we have done earlier. So due to which it's pretty easy to get that connection done when you are going for the implementation. When it comes to the marketplace piece perspective, eBay and similar sites have been integrated in global markets. But when it comes to India, because see, in a marketplace, what happens is the biggest difference is after you've ordered the item, when you're doing the checkout, you have to do a virtual payment.
Yes.
Right. So in India, you got your set of regulations beyond the B2C. When it comes to B2P, there are certain regulatory requirements as well, and few challenges. Due to which, so far, while we have been in discussion with a couple of suppliers, even a few weeks back, we had one on the MRO space. We have not fully gone into that because it's not so mature, especially on the VP card, right? Virtual P cards or virtual payments. So on the B2B side. So due to which it's been more of punch out, which has been working more in India and some of the developing markets versus in developed markets where the virtual P cards have been available or virtual payments have been available, we've been able to open the marketplaces there, right? So when it happens in India, as we see that, when it is opened up, obviously you will be able, all customers, once we have got a marketplace enabled, it will be available for all customers.
Yeah.
Okay, but is there a document or something which says, globally, like, what are the, available integrations or connections that are supported on today's date?
I don't think so. There is exact document. Usually, when we are going for the implementation, at that time, as part of the supplier flight plan and onboarding, where we take your existing supplier list and start to form that view and work with you. At that time, we do those matches and help customers.
Yeah. So, Venkat, we can share some of
few
those,
examples. Exactly. I was about to say that.
Some of the integration scenarios which are built in.
Yeah,
so
just some kind of an approach statement, right? If you can share, that will be really helpful.
Yeah. So catalog frame integration, which is a standard globally, we support that fully for your punch out catalog to take place. And these kind of integrations have happened within India by a few customers. We have a large natural resources company who actually has integrated very, very effectively with many suppliers, and to name few, Sandvik and Caterpillar, they are few very prominent ones, and then they actually also did integrate with few of the suppliers from China. So I think it's a completely feasible integration, and it is supported by a team of 300 people from Bangalore office. So there is a complete thought and SAP backing for any such integration. We have Dell, IBM, as HP, as other suppliers who have this integration, and there are video testimonies available which we can share. So I think from that perspective, it is not an area of concern that we will have to struggle with, but it is something which is easily executable. Yeah. Okay.
So we can go to the next slide. Alok,
Yeah. So let me, while we were on the B2B integration, while, in the supplier network, there is no fee associated for the supplier to log on to Ariba network. But when it comes to, B2B integration, then a supplier fee becomes applicable. And you have two options, known as BFSMP, which is Buyer Funded Supplier Managed Program, or a Supplier Managed Program, SMP. So there are two options. Either the buyer pays for supplier's access, or, the supplier takes access right from SAP. So just wanted to clarify that. Okay.
So whatever Alok mentioned, just to add on that, whatever the basic requirements for supplier to send you communications of PO confirmation, or say the goods ASN, or even be able to upload the invoice with the base version, he will be able to do it. There are some premium approaches which we have got, and that's where all these fees which Alok is speaking about comes into picture.
Yeah, but only in case of B2B, and not in case of outside that. So let's say the payment dashboard, payment dashboard to the suppliers is accessible in both the cases. Yeah. Okay, so I'll move to the next slide. Okay, so these two slides are again a quick recap on the licenses and matrices, which I have already explained in the previous slide. But let me quickly go through this. The spend analytics tool, which is more of a analysis, as well as your category evaluation of how organization has been spending based on different categories, and what can be the possible saving options that can emerge. This tool is there, and it is based on annual spend. The metrics is annual spend. Then we have a strategic sourcing suite, which has three modules: the classic sourcing, contracts, and the supplier lifecycle performance. It is based on a number of users. So, that's the lesson metrics for that. The SAP buying, the supplier network, these are again on spend, and supplier risk again is based on user. So in the SAP portfolio, the strategic sourcing suite and supplier risk are the only two tools where the license metrics is number of users. So very quickly on this contingent labor, the field glass piece is license based on the percentage of a spend that you want to route through SAP, and that's how the pricing is done. So these are the two options we have. And DocuSign I have already explained, which is not listed here, unfortunately, is based on the number of transactions. Transaction is nothing but a contract, and within that contract, multiple signatures are allowed. Okay. So I hope we are good with this. So I can move on to, the COVID kind of a situation. So, here I would recommend that you look at the Ariba Discovery part, which is free of cost for a limited period. And along with that, we have Qualtrics, where you can do the pulse check of the supplier. So excellent tool, I think, given this situation that we are into. You can prepare a ready questionnaire from within your system, and then put that survey out to your supplier, looking at their health, their capacity to deliver, and their commitment to remain engaged with you as a supplier. So that Qualtrics supplier pulse check again is free. You can quickly draw a free text survey form and then share it with your suppliers. So which is actually covered in this, just to maintain the supplier continuity and do a check on the supplier availability and their commitment to keep engaging with you. You can do this. It is as simple as this. You can and it is accessible completely on mobile phones or iPads or whatever. You can actually create a questionnaire, send it out to the customer, and then the analysis would be seen by you that within your set of suppliers, what is the current status of their being in business or continuing with their business. So this is again free. Please use it. You will benefit a lot from this to see the availability of your supplier and how they can still engage with you given the situation that we are into. And quickly on the supplier kind of discovery again. I will quickly.
This also. Where do we get this now? Supplier. This you say no that.
Yeah. I will share both the links with you.
Okay, please.
Yeah, so you can access these, and I would highly recommend, while you're trying to do this, in case you need SAP's assistance, either one-on-one or through bigger audience forum, we can do that. Happy to engage, because this is something we are vehemently promoting within our customers.
Yeah, that is what I would prefer, because in fact it has been done in past, so I just wanted to get.
Yeah. So Samir, definitely, and there is a dedicated account manager for L&T. So I will also pass on these interest areas from your side to them, and he will engage with you. Yeah. Okay. So this is again the supplier discovery part. This is how it looks. You just enter your product requirements or services requirement, enter the code. Okay, it is written, it's free. It was not used to be like this. So you just press this and you will start seeing the result. I would again, I have said this many times before, just type Ariba Discovery in Google and you will land to this page. And here is where you will get a uninterrupted access to 4 million plus suppliers on the Ariba network, and I will give you a very good example, a very empathetic example, where SAP actually helped a medical equipment supplier outside New York City to source 500 beds in just 30 minutes. So that is what compelled us to kind of reach out to everyone, and it's something you can look at this. Time permitting, there is a video also. We'll come back to this again, and this video is also will get shared with you. So just take some time out to view this. Okay, but again, just access this Ariba Discovery using Google search tool. Oh. Okay, then supplier risk we have already covered. It's a very strong repository that we have. You don't have to license anything outside the tool, and it will feed you with so much of risk insights that before you are getting into an arrangement with that particular supplier, you will get to have the complete risk assessment done, and you can decide accordingly how you can engage with them. Yeah. In many cases in India, I have seen myself over many years being in SAP, how the suppliers actually did not, meet the expectations of the buyer. So, you can look at this, and we can do a separate session if you want on this. So that's where we are. Contingent workforce, again, we have covered most of it. There is so much of focus on employee health and safety. So, this is a tool which will help you maintain that, and, on regular checks and other things, as well as, how they are coming, doing their time sheeting and other areas. If you have a outcome-based, model with them, or a production outcome-based model with them, you can, do the SOW, kind of tracking and pay them accordingly basis that. So again, good tool, and just let us know if we have to do a separate session on this. I think I'm almost done. So, this is again, I won't bore you. These are the two webinars. One is on the 16th and 3:30 p.m. onwards, which is covering the Ariba Discovery part in greater detail. Some live cases will also be demonstrated, and one on the 20th will cover the contract and the the digital signature part. Again, very, very vital in the situation that we are into. So I think these two webinars you should definitely attend. Please do block it in your calendar, and you will get a separate invite of these from our teams, and it will help you be plan for it. I think we are done. So anything additional you may
Thanks. Yeah, thanks Alok, and thanks everyone for participating. We can take some questions now. I think we still have about 5 minutes.
So procurement is
if anyone has any questions.
Procurement is an area which never ends. There is always follow-up sessions and other things. But we'll be more than happy to engage, and just let us know your interest area, and we'll engage.
Okay. Thank you. So I've actually put up a poll. So maybe I'll leave this one for 30 seconds. And then there's one more poll that I wanted to run as well. Meanwhile, if someone has any question, you can unmute yourself. And both Vaibhav and Alok and Venkat are on the call. So is Priya. So if you have any questions, now is a good time to ask. I've put some of the links that we spoke about on the chat. For example, I've put the link for the 16th webinar on the chat already. I've put the link to the Discovery Center on the chat already. I've also we've tried to answer some of the questions on the chat. Okay, so if anyone else has any questions, good time for us to now ask. So this is the last poll that I have. If you would like someone from SAP to reach out to you with subsequent information on any of these team you want them to reach out to you, please do let us know here, so that I will share your information with the team, and that they can then reach out to you. So I just wanted to take this opportunity. So today morning, I was hosting a user group procurement special interest group meeting in Singapore with the Singapore user group. And we had SMRT, which is the transportation company. They shared their Ariba, their digital transformation journey with Ariba. And I was kind of blown away by the way they've kind of implemented the entire suite of Ariba solutions in their landscape. They've got everything from supplier risk till the entire portfolio running at their end. And they said that 95% to 98% of all invoices are automated, which means that there is no manual intervention happening at all, and payment 95+% of invoice is also automated, which was kind of really eye-opening for me. I'd like to do that here for the India user group as well. So if you know a particular customer who has done some interesting stuff, or if you have done some interesting stuff around procurement using SAP products or technologies, let us know. We would like to put the spotlight on you, give you the spotlight so that you can share what you are doing. And if you would like to hear from someone specific, you let us know as well. So we'll reach out to them and ask them to invite them to share what they have done in their organization from a procurement perspective. We will continue to use the WhatsApp group to call for topics and for the next sessions. So the next month session is very clear, which is supplier risk management, supplier and compliance. So hopefully we will get a good speaker to deliver that as well. Any other questions, topics? Otherwise, thanks everyone for such a lively discussion. I think this is what makes the user group really brilliant place to connect.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone. I hope the session was useful. Thanks Alok, thanks Vaibhav, thanks Venkat, thanks Priya.
Okay, thanks
in,
everyone.
making this happen.
Thank you for taking time out and
thank you.
Thanks everyone for contributing.
Yeah, thank you everyone.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Stay safe. Stay safe.
Yeah, stay
Take
safe.
care. Stay home and stay safe.
Yes.
Take care. Bye.
Okay.